Going. Awesome. So my name is Marisela, and today you're tuning in to the Your Vote, Your Voice, Your Vote workshop. And coincidentally, today is also National Voter Registration Day. So this is the first series of our Eagle Talk where we'll be discussing topics such as the importance of voting in the 2020 elections, voting in California, the Voter Bill of Rights, and how to register to vote. So we have a lot of great things here to discuss. Today, I am here to serve as a moderator. My name is Marisela, and I serve as the SGA and SLDP advisor here for Mount San Jacinto College. And then my colleague, Suzanne Ortega, who's also on the line, she's helping us. She's all things tech, so she'll be sharing this on YouTube and all that good stuff. And then we also have Beth Bowles from Outreach. Hey, Beth Bowles, thanks for joining us. And any other MSJC staff that I may have missed, thank you all so much for coming in. And of course, thank you to all our MSJC students. Without you, this event would not be possible. So the purpose of today's event is to boost civic engagement, to inspire students to get involved on matters that matter most to them, right? So I would also like to highlight that MSJC is part of the Ballot Bowl, and this allows for our college to compete among other colleges for the highest number of students registered and the highest percentage of the student body registered to vote. And our PIO, our Public Information Office, will be sharing more information on this and promoting this as we go, as well as our Student Life Office. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to sldp@msjc.edu. And another important deadline that I'd like to go ahead and point out is that we have the October 19th, 2020. That is the voter registration deadline. And of course, since you are tuning in, you will be registering to vote early, right? I can assure you that if you're not already registered to vote today. And then I would be remiss if I didn't highlight the fact that the census is happening. And this is happening now. So please go ahead and complete the census so you get the funding we deserve for our community, right? And this also helps determine future programming for our children, our youth, their education, our healthcare system, and so much more. So to complete your census, if you haven't done so already, you can do that online, by phone, or by mail when your invitation to respond arrives. You can visit my2020census.gov for more information. So last but definitely not least, I will go ahead and get us started with our TODEC presenters who are here. We have Ivette Andrade and Ismael Cruz. Thank you so much for joining us. And feel free to go ahead and share your screen.
Hi there. Good afternoon. This is Ismael Cruz. We're here with TODEC Legal Center. We're also glad that you guys could all join us today. Happy Voter Registration Day, first of all, to everyone. Yeah, so we've been around. We've been doing different things with TODEC Legal Center. We work with different things. We mostly work with immigration. We do different processes, but we also talk about civic engagement and some other really important things. My name is Ismael Cruz. I'm the project manager. We've been working with different projects like the census, how Marisela is really important right now to, elevate that, especially since time is close for it to end. So with TODEC Legal Center, TODEC, first of all, means Training Occupational Development, Educating Communities. And we've been around for, it's going to be this month, 36 years. So we've really been around, helping hire for the founders actually got to work with Cesar Chavez in the 80s. Specifically to get the community involved and letting them know the importance of being engaged, right, to make changes into our community. So TODEC's our mission is to empower the disenfranchised communities, and help them be self-sufficient and to have the same opportunities as everyone else here in this country. So we try to teach them the laws. We try to teach them different things that are happening. We are always updating them with changes that are happening with immigration or other things. And we served actually throughout the whole Inland Empire. So we actually have offices in our Coachella site. We also have an office in Paris, and we have one in Victorville. So we work throughout the whole IE. And then something really important that I also want to point out is that we are also nonpartisan. So we don't tell anyone, how to vote or who to vote for. We just let them know. We let them know all the information that they need in order for them to be informed. So we wanted to go over your voice, your vote today, and the importance of voting. So I'll have Ivette start us off with why is it important to vote.
All right, so good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all doing really well. And we're going to be touching first on the importance of voting. Obviously, the elections are coming up, so it's important to elevate your voice. You know, this time is a really good time to empower yourself and the American citizens who do have the opportunity to vote. Voting is like power to the people, and it's important to partake in our democracy in order to better the lives of everyone living in America. And when you vote, you're actually making really good use of your tax money, and it's allowing you to decide where you want to put that money towards. So for example, here in the Inland Empire, a lot of our roads have been fixed. So luckily for those people who have voted in the past, their money is going towards better roads. Voting also allows for change. So different candidates will be able to provide better opportunities for the general public. So we are like Ismael said, we are nonpartisan. So it's up to you, up to everyone in America who is voting to decide who they want to vote on to see that change happen in our democracy. And lastly, it's helping our community. Voting is especially important for those who can't vote. When you vote, you're elevating not only your voice, but the voices of other people. And it's also important for younger generations or others who can't vote, always to have them in mind and think, okay, voting is for the greater good of myself and for others. So there's countless benefits from voting, but being able to support others through your vote is one of the most beneficial. So if we could move to the next slide.
And another thing I also want to say, something we always tell people here in TODEC is not only see the person's name, you know, if they have a Hispanic last name, especially since we work with a lot of Spanish community, we love to know to really study them, you know, the candidates, everyone individually, what is it that they're proposing, so that way they can go ahead and make a great decision for them and they won't regret anything in the future. So we're just letting them know, you know, to get informed before they make any choices. And then we wanted to also touch up on voting here in California. So very important to, first of all, go ahead and register to vote at registertovote.ca.gov if you haven't already done so. But if you want to also, you know, do it, you know, by paper, the old school style, want to have that feel, you can also pick up a paper ballot at the DMV or library or post office. You can go ahead and do that. If you moved at one point, or if you had a name change, anything happened like that, you're going to have to re-register. You could do it online and just go ahead and update your information. And if you want to go ahead and register online or by mail, you can do it by October 19th, just like Marisela had highlighted that date. It's really important that we go ahead and redo that. Now, if you haven't registered before that date, I know the state of California allows you to register 2 weeks before election day at your county clerk office, or even on election day, you can even show up at the polling place with an ID and they'll go ahead and they'll let you vote as well. So that's also really important in case you know someone who missed that registration date. Just let them know that 2 weeks before the election date, they can actually go to their county clerk, you know, take their ID, and they'll go ahead and let them help them out submit their vote, or they can go on election day once again to the polling place, bring an ID, and they should be allowed to vote as well. So make sure, you know, to vote by mail, the application deadline is 27th of October. Once you send in by mail, you'll be able to receive that paper ballot over and over again. So as soon as anything again with voting comes up, you'll be receiving that ballot by mail automatically. And like Marisela also, you know, pointed out, you know, we'll be allowed to vote early in person too. So I know all of our counties here in the IE are going to be allowing that for early voting. So you can go ahead and check that out at the sos.california.gov county elections offices, and all that information should be listed there for you guys to see what counties are allowing you to vote early. So definitely let's push that everyone go ahead and vote early so we can get our votes casted in time and we can all participate. Like Ivette said, it's really important for all of us to elevate our voice forward, especially for us, you know, a lot of us work with a lot of communities who can't vote. So it's really important to have that voice for them if, you know, it's really important to just say our part. So we also wanted to go over the Voters' Bill of Rights as well. So, you know, as voters, we all have rights, and these are what our rights are. And it is the right to vote. If you are a registered voter, you are eligible to vote if you are a U.S. citizen living in California, at least 18 years of old, registered where you currently live, not currently in state or federal prison or on a parole for conviction of felony, not currently found mentally incompetent to vote by a court. So even if you just moved to California not too long ago, you can still, cast your vote. So in case you know anyone who just moved recently or something, they can still vote here in California. The right to vote, if you are a registered voter, even if your name is not on the list. You will vote using a provisional ballot. Your vote will be counted if elections officials determine that that you are eligible to vote. So it's really important that the right to vote if you are still in line when the polls are closed. So definitely, if you're in line and it's closing time, and if someone's trying to kick you out and say, sir, you can't vote, it's already past 8 p.m. You have that right. So it's really important to know these in case anyone tries to step out of line. The right to cast a secret ballot with anyone bothering you or telling you how to vote. So
continuing with the Voters Bill of Rights, the fifth one would be if you make a mistake on your ballot, if you check the wrong candidate or something, you could always change it. And you could do this by, so say you're filling out your ballot that was mailed to you at home and you make a mistake, you could go to the nearest polling place and swap it out for a new one, or you could go to an elections office and get a different one, and that'll just be a provisional ballot. So you could get it won't be the original, but it'll be the one that is replacing the one that you made a mistake on. And you also get the right to ask anyone for help on your ballot, obviously not your employer or a union representative, just to keep it professional. But say you wanted to ask, like you're at the polling place and you needed help with a question on the ballot or where to put your information, you could always ask someone, or someone who has had experience with voting, you could ask them. You also could drop off your ballot at any polling place. So say you get your ballot mailed to you, you could, on your way to work, drop it off, or on your way home, drop it off at the nearest polling place or polling place around you. So that's always an option. And you also get the right to get your ballot in any other language that you need. So say you get your ballot in English, but your parents need it in Spanish, you could always request it in Spanish, or any other language that you understand.
And then also the continuing, you also have the right to ask questions to election officials about election procedures and watch the election procedures as well. If the person you ask cannot answer your questions, they must send you to the right person for an answer. If you are disruptive, they can stop answering you. So it's really important to know that in case you have any questions, they're there to help you out. Don't feel like you can't reach out to someone if you're not really too sure about what's going on. And then the last right is the right to report any illegal or fraudulent election activity to an elections official or Secretary of State office. So those are some Voters Bill of Rights that we have as voters, and it's really important to know those just so we know our rights as voters, what is that we can do, and what is it that they can't, they can't stop us or they can't tell us no. So it's really important to know those rights so we can go ahead and exercise them.
So how to register to vote. While I'm talking about this, I just want to remind you all that it is important to keep in mind the election day, which is Tuesday, November 3rd, and the deadline to register is October 19th on a Monday. And there's a lot of ways to register to vote right now. You could always register online at the Register to Vote for the State of California website. You could also register to vote with TODEC at our page on our website. If you scroll down, we have an option and the link is there to register to vote. And I'm sure a lot of you have social media, and I'm sure you've all seen on Snapchat or on Google or Instagram. I know right now you go on and the tab is open to register to vote. So that's always a good way to vote as well. And it'll all send you to the link that is provided here. So you could always register for your whatever state you partake in, if it's California or another one. You could also register to vote in person at the DMV. So if you're going to go renew your license and you remember that you need to register to vote, You could register there, at the library, or at the post office. And by mail, so if you're already registered to vote, you'll automatically receive a mailed ballot. And so once you receive your mailed ballot, you'll be able to send it back through the mail, or like I said earlier, you could go to the nearest polling place, and it's that simple. Or you could also register to vote right now. If Ismael, you could switch the slide. You could take a picture of this, open up your photo app, and it'll pop up a little tab with the website on where to register to vote. So this is a great opportunity as well.
So if you guys haven't done so, you know, we'll leave it there for a little second, and then you snap a photo and go ahead and register to vote. And that way we could start counting some votes, right? All right, so some key dates we wanted to highlight, you know, for registration. It's really important. So as of late September, so everyone should start receiving, you know, voters information guides mailed out to us for registered voters, and that'll have all the good information about all the different candidates, all the different information that we need to be informed on voting. So that should be sent out soon. I don't know if anyone has started receiving them in the mail. But then October 5th will also be vote by mail ballots delivered to the U.S. Postal Service to be mailed out to registered voters. And then October 6th, the ballot drop-off sites are finally going to be open. October 26th to the 30th will be early vote sites open. So those are the ones that we need to be checking out, so we can go ahead and we can vote early, submit our votes early in case you know, we can't show up, you know, voting day. October 31st to November 3rd, the polling places are going to be open, and the November 3rd will be election day. So those are some really key important dates that we all need to be aware of. They're all coming up really, really fast. So just make sure to be and yeah, it's really important in case, you know, you already can vote and you can be participate in this year's votes. It's gonna be really, really important. I think that there's gonna be a lot of things that might change in the future. We see a lot of things, so everyone, you know, should definitely cast in their votes. It's really important to hear everyone's voice so that, you know, we can be shaped accordingly to how we are as a nation, right? So it's gonna be really important that we all definitely cast our votes so that our votes and our leaders, you know, are representative or who our voices are. And then we just wanted to go over some of our personal contact information. So my name is Ismael Cruz, and we were with Ivette Andrade. I usually work with the different projects here at TODEC Legal Center. Like we have the census, the Get Out to Vote soon will be coming out very soon. So we're going to be making calls. We're going to be definitely letting the community know the importance of voting. So we're always engaged in different activities, and we're always trying to engage the community as well. So, and that's our phone number in case anyone has any questions for us. If they need assistance for registering also, they can also let us know that, and we can go ahead and help them register. Here at TODEC, what we also do is we also help out with naturalization. So citizenship, something really important that's happening right now is that the prices are going to be changing in early October, maybe like October 3rd or 4th. The prices are going to be going up to $1,200. So if in case you know anyone who is low income, you know, definitely have them come into the office sites. There's a lot of things in immigration changing. So if they have currently like Medi-Cal, or if they're under their taxes, if they don't make too much money, then they might actually qualify to do their whole N-400 to citizenship application for free. So yeah, definitely have them talk to us before the deadline, which is October 4th, I believe. So just have them talk to us so we can go ahead and we can try to help them out with the process. DACA renewals, we're also helping out with DACA renewals all the time here. So in case you know anyone who's DACA and you know they're about to expire a few months, 6 months or so. Yeah, so the date's gonna be October 2nd for the changes for citizenship. So October 2nd will be the date. So if you know anyone who is Medi-Cal or who is a low income, definitely have us talk to us because they can do the whole application for free. So that'll be October 2nd. We also do legal consultations here at TODEC too. So in case you know anyone needs to talk to a lawyer, We have all of our services here usually for free. So legal consultations, have them contact us, give us a call so we can set up an appointment. So we can do a phone call or a Zoom meeting with the lawyer. We also do green card renewals. Family petitions we won't actually be doing till next year. We're taking a little break on that. But community education, natural disaster education, which is really important right now with this whole COVID. So we've been spreading a lot of different awareness, protecting yourselves. Advocacy, civic engagement, voters registrations, and voters education. And once again, we have offices serving in the whole Inland Empire. We have one in our Coachella office. We have one here in Riverside by Paris, and we also serve in the high desert in Victorville. So I don't know if there's any questions or anything, Marisela, that you want to engage us with.
Awesome, Ismael and Ivette, thank you so much for taking the time to educate us. That was really incredibly informative, and I love the QR code you had to pop it up on your cell phone. So that was super great. And at this time, we're going to go ahead and take any questions. Feel free to type it in the chat as well. If you don't feel comfortable muting yourselves, we'll be looking at that as well. Ismael and Ivette, do you also offer volunteer opportunities with TODEC, or is that currently?
Yeah, we still, if you would like, you could also go on our TODEC website, todec.org, and we have a tab for that says volunteer, and you could sign up, and whenever we have events, we'll reach out to you and you can help us out.
Awesome, thank you so much. So we have a question from Beth Bowles. How do I find out where the ballot drop-off office is for my area?
I believe if you go to the same link, once the registration deadline has cut off, we'll have those polling places open. I know if you go to the California website, you could look under and see that there's polling places near you, or you could just look up polling places near me. Usually they're at schools or churches. So you could always just look it up on the California website.
Could you place that California website in the link?
Yes.
It's not always at the polling place. The drop-off sites I heard are not always at your polling place, so you have to call and find out. And do we like mailing ballots? Are we confident about mailing ballots, or should we drop them off?
It's all preference. So if you're comfortable with mailing your ballot, go ahead and mail it. But if you feel more comfortable dropping it off, you could always drop it off. So it's all on your preference.
All right. I just need to know how to find out where to drop it off.
Yeah, I'll let you know right now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's gonna be important that we all, I think as soon as we can vote early, I think we should all try to take advantage of that, definitely, because we know there's a lot of things, we've been hearing a lot of stuff, right, about the post office, stuff being delayed. So definitely, the earlier we can try to participate, we can make sure that our votes are counted and casted in. And then I also want to encourage everyone to also, I know Ivette already messaged it, but in case you guys want to volunteer, we do a lot of awesome work with the community, definitely engaging the community in different ways with voting, census. So definitely, definitely take that opportunity if you would like to, work in anything of this field. We're always definitely working with volunteers. We always have different projects. So yeah, feel free to sign up and we'll go ahead and contact you.
Thank you. And to follow up with the question, so I went to go ahead and typed it in Google, finding my polling location. And there are several different websites that will pop up, but a trustworthy site is the state of California site here. And the way you know that it's trustworthy is that it's .gov, right? So that's also a trustworthy site. So you go ahead and enter your address here, and it will pop up the 10 voting locations that are nearest you. Some of them are open early, so they'll have, for example, a ballot box out front, or you can physically go in person and vote early. So it's not just on voting day that you can go and physically vote. You may also show up early and do that. A lot of places are opening up on Halloween. So that's something to look out for if you would like to go ahead and vote early and in person. A lot of places are starting on October 31st. So this is a great site where you can enter your address and it'll pop up some information. And then we have a question here. I am already registered. So are all polling places open even with COVID? And the answer to that is yes. So there are polling sites that are open in person, but feel free to go ahead and mail in your ballot as well. So you have whatever option you feel is most convenient, most comfortable for you. And what I do recommend is try to go early, and that might avoid a lot of physical interaction. I would imagine the polling sites will be busier as election day is approaching. So you have both alternatives. And then, for example, if you have, for example, your grandmother that you want to go ahead and submit their ballot, you also have the opportunity to do that. Your grandmother would just have to sign off the ballot and who they're delegating to drop off their ballot if they want to drop it off. So there's several opportunities to look into. And this is particularly important why we are having these Eagle Talk series is just because we want to prepare and plan for all of this, right? So we know that election day is coming up and we need to have a plan to make sure our vote gets there, right? So how are we voting for ourselves, and how do we encourage our family and loved ones and our friends and neighbors to also partake in voting? So
definitely, and I would say, definitely plan it out. I was seeing some recommendations. Plan it out, right? What day you want to go, maybe what time, what location. So definitely have your day laid out, so that way you can make it as smooth as possible. Especially right now with COVID happening, maybe you can just plan it out better for yourself. Especially if you can do it early, right? So
yeah, great add on to that. And another question that we have, how do we find out when ballots will be mailed out? And I believe that was touched on in the presentation. October 5th is the date. And then I believe you can go online and track information about that. So again, the state of California is a great site that you can go ahead and get more information on that. And another question that we have here, great questions by the way, is early voting only available this year because of the pandemic, or can we vote early in the future as well? And to answer your question, yes, early voting is available, and that's not just for this year. It's something that's been in practice in prior years as well. And then we have individuals also sharing links to where to drop off your ballot. And
yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. That link actually helps you find a lot of things for the election season. It helps you find if you're registered to vote, your preference in language for your election materials. So finding your polling place as well. So it'll help with a lot of things. You just type in your information and the closest locations near you will pop up.
yes, thank you, Yvette. And another great thing to note is sometimes individuals aren't sure whether they've already registered or not, or they want to see if they've had a vote by mail ballot or what the details are of that. So you can go ahead and enter your information here and find out, what that's looking like, if you're already registered, if you're all good to go. And again, this is also the site where you can find your polling place, find information for upcoming local and state elections, find contact information for your county elections office, choose how you want to receive your state and county voter guides before each election. If you recently registered online, you must wait at least 24 hours before checking your status. So if any of you use a QR code today and registered to vote, remember to allow 24 hours before making sure that that went through. All right, do we have any other questions here on the chat? Awesome. And I see that Stephanie from PIO has joined us. Hi, Stephanie. We went ahead and lightly touched on the voting ballot bowl information, and I mentioned that PIO would help us promote and market that information to our students. So keep an eye on that. I have, can you answer mine from Emma? And I don't see, Emma, do you have a question? If you don't mind retyping that in the chat so I know what the question is.
She's asking how her teacher can be notified that she attended for extra credit.
Yes, that's something good to know. So I will keep track of all the participants here that are listed on the Zoom. So go ahead and reach out to your professor, your instructor, and CC me in the email, and I will reply back and confirm by reviewing the list and making sure that you, in fact, were in participation of today's Zoom. So by a show of hands, if you all know how to use the reactions, the thumbs up if some of you are here because you were offered extra credit for your classes. Oh, awesome. Wow, okay, great. So yes, please go ahead and email your professors, CC me in the message, and I will confirm your attendance. So that's awesome. Good to know. At Student Life, we want to make sure our students are engaged and know of all the different events that are happening. And since I noticed that this is a popular way for student participation, I will continue to promote that. So hopefully additional extra credit coming your way. Where can I find your email? I will go ahead. Suzanne just is working away. Suzanne just went ahead and typed my email there in the chat. So I'm Marisela, and my email is mmagana@msjc.edu.
And Marisela, I wanted to remind everyone if they can follow us on social media, because we're always having different programs. We're always, sometimes we give away like food right now with the whole COVID, sometimes masks and gloves. So we're always doing different events. So definitely follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's going to be TODEC1. So you can just follow us there, and that way you guys can always keep updated with what's going on with us. So that we really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much, Ismael. And we will continue the Eagle Talk series. We have another series already lined up that will be taking place on October 7th, and that will also be held at the same time. So that will begin at 3 p.m. And we will also, in case you are not available to participate at the 3 p.m. hour, we will be sure to share these on our YouTube channel. So we will record and go ahead and promote them. And Suzanne, she is wonderful in coordinating all that, and she manages our YouTube channel. So we will make sure that even if you are unable to participate at the allotted time, that you will have access to these Eagle Talk series. So something to look out for. And then also please feel free to shoot me any suggestions of whatever Eagle Talk series topics you would like to incorporate moving forward. We are Student Life, and our work revolves around students and what they would like to listen to and learn more of. Please go ahead and do not hesitate to reach out. We are open for ideas and suggestions. Our next Eagle Talk series will be focusing on social justice and policy 101. So it's something that should be of interest. And again, just like today, we encourage you to register to vote and all that good stuff, and to make a plan of how you will be registering to vote and have all that coordinated. We will continue this series by talking on some matters that are important and topics of interest that you should continue researching, right? So one step to voting is getting to the ballot, mailing that in person, or whatever your choice is. And another one is to do your research. Hi, Nathan and friend. Thank you for joining us. So go ahead and do your research as we move along. The youth vote is super important, especially for this election. Right, Stephanie, you agree. So the highest youth voter turnout actually happened in our 2016 presidential election. So we need to keep that momentum going. If you're a youth, if you're an MSJC student, please, I encourage you to at least have another friend who hasn't been registered to vote or is not really civically engaged in that sense. Please go ahead and educate them based on some of the information we shared today. Share this YouTube presentation and let them know to tune in and learn all the great information that we discussed today. But your goal is not only to educate and enlighten yourself, but also bring others with you, right? So that is my ask from you, is to at least have one other friend or family member who's not civically engaged or normally does not vote to go ahead and vote this coming election. Do we have any other questions in the chat that I may have missed? Thank you for the positive comments of, that you're glad you attended and that you definitely received some useful information. We really appreciate that. And that was our goal for today. So, and also a great thank you to our presenters for sharing that information. All right, and
Thank you for having us.
Oh, thank you so much. Suzanne went ahead and added the YouTube channel, so you can go ahead and play back this video and receive some information and play it back in case you miss any important points. Ismael and Yvette, is there any last comments you'd like to share before we go ahead and conclude our meeting for today?
I'm gonna add one more link. It is for the County of Riverside registered voters, and there's a lot of information on that website as well.
Awesome, thank you so much. All right, so we will hang back here for a second. There is a lot of great links and email addresses, so feel free to copy and paste that onto a Word document or wherever you can find it. That way you have all that information at your, thank you, Yvette, voteinfo.net. Perfect. And again, if we have any other additional questions from students or staff, please don't hesitate to type it in the chat box if you don't feel comfortable unmuting yourself. All right, can I also just do another quick survey? Can we use our reactions a thumbs up if you learned one new thing by coming to today's presentation? Something that you did not know before. Nathan, I see you. Thank you. Rosa, Karen, Ben, Matt. Wow, too many to name. That is awesome. Perfect. Yes. Thank you for all the information. Thank you for coming. We really appreciate you. All right. Well, with that being said, we will go ahead and end our Eagle Talks for today. Please tune in for future ones. If you have any questions, we will be on the line. So feel free to hang back if you also would like to speak to us individually. We can even use our breakout sessions and all that good stuff. So I won't keep you away from your studies for too much longer. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we will see you at our next one.